Hey guys, now is September 8th, 2019. It's Sunday. Swimming season is over here, and topic is functioning. My theory on functioning. That's how I call it in my inner slang. Functioning alcoholic, functioning schizophrenic, functioning normie. What the fuck is that? So, this is how I see things. I'm not psychologist. I don't have a degree for some socialist psychology faculty where I've been taught gender studies and all that crap. My knowledge is coming from the experience, and it's also coming from researches, reading different scientific papers and spending days and weeks and nights and years on the YouTube watching what people have to say on it. So whatever I say, take with a pinch of salt. Anyway, I don't have many viewers. So this is how I see simply human mental stratification. I have certain categories. So let's say on this side we have the cluster B. We have psychopaths, narcissists, histrionics, borderlines. Well, borderlines are more into normal category. So psychopaths, narcissists, histrionics. In short, about that. So if psychopath is a wine, narcissist is bevanda, wine mixed with water, and histrionic is just another name for a narcissist. So this is this category. Then we have the victims of these guys. We have on this side we have schizophrenics, multiple personality disorder, and then in a normal, this is like normal population, right? Some are here. Here we have the people who suffer from mild schizophrenia, neurosis, and borderline narcissists. Okay, that's all normal or normie. So, and here we have the normies. So, what are the normies? Normies are the people who are intelligent enough to do their jobs, but stupid enough to connect the dots, to understand the nature of this planet. You don't know the reptiles, Illuminati, psychopaths, and all that crap I've been explaining all these years in all these links here. So, my country is not unique. My country is probably as your country. I'm coming from Croatia. I live in a country of functioning alcoholics, and in this country, people don't really have a terminology for functioning alcoholic. Functioning alcoholic is normal. What is not normal is alcoholic, which is sleeping on a bench in front of your building and pissing in his pants. That's alcoholic where I'm from. But if you drink every day, if you beat your wife, if you're simply a shitty person who can follow simple instructions at his work and drink with his work buddies and his boss, and then after that buy groceries, drink, talk shit, do shit, sleep, and repeat the process, you are perfectly fucking normal. That's what Croat is. I apologize if I offend you, but show me 40-year-old Croat who is not drinking and who is not popping antidepressants. Show me that guy. Okay? Not far away from here is the shipyard. Rijeci Maja. It's maybe less than a kilometer away, maybe 500 meters. Okay, it's really close. And I never met in whole my life a guy who either worked there or who's working there who's not drinking on a daily basis. Never met a guy. And I lived in a building full of these people because my father worked there. So guys, I know what I'm talking about. So this is not nice to say, but basically healthy person is targeted person. If you're healthy, if you're mentally healthy, meaning you did manage to bother to investigate your shit and solve your problems and then start to see more what reality is about, then you simply start to be targeted. And then when you're targeted, the not this bottom feeder psychopathic borderline and all that crap, which is the rest of the population, but the masters of the hierarchy, you know how they like to point the pyramid, right? They're gonna start labeling you that you are the schizophrenic. And now how the game gonna be played? The people who are functioning, just functioning, biological robots, they consider themselves to be normal because, you know, they can have a job, they can have a boat, and guess what they're gonna do when they come into harbor? Hangover tomorrow morning, Monday, do some imaginary job. That's it. So I know that these normies are coming under many different names, NPCs, non-player characters, because that's exactly how they sound when you talk with them. Organic portals, soulless human beings. But I think, you know, now when I look a little bit better into that, I can simply call them functioning, because I met so many people who have spark behind the eyes, who have charisma, who have a soul definitely, and they're acting like a functioning. So another thing about the normies, you see, every normie is also a flying monkey of a local psychopath, and that's something what they're never gonna accept or admit. Long time ago, somebody smarter than me said there is no better ally than accomplice in a crime. So imagine all these people who have these, middle class jobs, especially upper middle class positions. Who are they if not flying monkeys of the psychopathic hierarchy? Let it sink in. Who's the enemy? Who's doing targeting here? Somebody also said real monsters are not those who do evil. I paraphrase. Are not those who do evil, but those who stand aside and do nothing. Motherfucking 35,000 abortions in this country per year.
Hoes need abortions! 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 Hoes need abortions!
Do you see my point? Everybody's inside, at least a little bit of mental. And then everybody fucking wonder why everything goes down the drain. Motherfucking shills. Assholes everywhere. Yeah, I'm not really showing love, but it's difficult to show a love when you see so many morons around you.
In the early hours of September 15, 2015, the woman who alleged Mateen Cleaves raped her is seen walking away from the Knights Inn motel, partially nude. That's Cleaves following her, wearing nothing but socks. You can see Cleaves grab her, spin her around, and pull her back to the room she just tried to leave. She bends her knees to resist and continues to try pulling away before, it appears, ultimately giving up. The video has no audio, but in court, a witness to the struggle testified about what she saw and heard.
She looked at me and she said, "Help me, help me, help me." And I had the phone in my hand and I told her, "I'm on the phone right now, calling the police." I looked at Mateen in the eyes. He didn't say one word.
13 minutes later, she appears again, this time running away from Cleaves, who chases her. then grabs her with both arms, pulling her back to the room. The struggle continues until she ultimately falls to the ground, and seconds later, she tries to get away again. Once again, Cleves pulls her back, wrapping both arms around her waist and pulling her into the room. The same witness who called 911 also testified that she spoke to Cleves' accuser that night.
She said that he got on top of her and she couldn't fight him off, and that she just lay there.
Cleves' attorneys maintain that the sex was consensual all along, that the video showed Cleves trying to protect the woman when he pulled her back into the room. Ultimately, jurors sided with the former MSU star, deliberating less than 3 hours before acquitting him of all charges. And about an hour ago, Cleves' attorney Frank Manley issued a statement about the video we just showed you. It reads, "The video was presented in a court of law. A jury found Mr. Cleves not guilty of all charges. The complainant had her day in court. The criminal matter is closed. Not guilty remains not guilty."
It started, she says, when the black government came to power 15 years ago.
In the past, we were the apartheid years, and it's the white people put them down, and now it's their time to put us down.
It is a common feeling among white South Africans who have fallen on hard times. They are the victims, they say, of affirmative action, or what they call reverse discrimination. Virtually every person in this room feels that way. They all lived and worked during the apartheid era. They are left with meager pensions and come to this community center twice a week for a free meal. They don't talk openly, but ask a few questions and the bitterness rises. It is true that South Africa has its own version of affirmative action. It's called Black Economic Empowerment, and it was seen as vital in the new South Africa. Go to any one of the government ministries in Pretoria today, and most of the civil servants are black. It used to be that most of the faces you'd see on the streets here were white. Under the apartheid system, if you were a white person, you got a job.
The second trend is that more and more narcissists are becoming psychopathic or antisocial. The majority of narcissists 20 years ago were merely grandiose. They had fantasies about themselves, these perceptions of themselves, and they try to uphold and buttress these fantasies by projecting a false self and expecting people to tell them that the false self is actually not false. They are really geniuses, really perfect, brilliant, infallible, omnipotent and omniscient. That was all there was to it, to narcissism. Narcissism was a social phenomenon. Narcissists dependent on other people to obtain feedback and input, which helped them to regulate their sense of self-worth. That was 20 years ago. 20 years later, narcissists have become pernicious and dangerous. Now narcissists leverage their cold empathy more sinisterly. They are more goal-oriented. They are more malignantly grandiose and even criminalized. I explored this doomsday scenario in depth in my part of the second interview with Richard Grannon, which was released yesterday and is available on both our YouTube channels, Spartan Life Coach YouTube channel and my YouTube channel. And the last and perhaps most disturbing trend is that until about 10 years ago, people, even narcissists, had role models. They had people they sought to learn from. They had people they sought to emulate, and they had ideals to which they aspired to. There was something higher. Even as far as the narcissist, there was always something higher. Could have been God, could have been an admired figure, but there was always something higher. And today, everyone, never mind how unintelligent, never mind how ignorant or unaccomplished, everyone claimed superiority. Everyone claimed to be at least equal to everyone else. Armed with egalitarian, equal access technology like social media, everyone virulently detests and seek to destroy or to reduce to their level their betters. We all have people who know more than we do. We all have people who are more successful than we are. And we definitely all have people who look better than we do. I mean, compare Richard Grannon to me. But we ought to acknowledge it. It's a part of the reality test. And then if we can, we owe it to ourselves to try to become better, to know more, to learn more, to try more, to achieve more. And this is a very healthy process. It's not pathological envy. It's constructive envy. But today, envy is pathological. We don't we don't seek to emulate or imitate or learn from. We seek to destroy. We seek to drag people down to our level, not to go up to their level. And so that which cannot be attained, that which we cannot equal, we seek to ruin. We seek to eradicate and devastate. Pathological envy had fully substituted for learning and self-improvement. Experts, scholars, and intellectuals, for example, are scorned, derided, or even threatened.
If you walk into a scientific institution in the United States, like a medical school or a university biology department, there's a good chance you'll see a dude wall. NPR's Nell Greenfield-Boyce explains what a dude wall is and why some people say these walls should come tumbling down.
Leslie Vosshall says the term dude wall was born at Rockefeller University in New York, where she works. Just outside its main auditorium is a wall that's covered with portraits of scientists from the university who've either won the Nobel Prize or a major medical prize that's sometimes called the American Nobel.
100% of them are men, and it's probably 30 headshots of 30 men. So it's imposing.
She says a few years ago, TV host Rachel Maddow came there to hand out a prestigious award that's always given to a female scientist. Vosshall says someone overheard Maddow say,
"What is up with the dude wall?" That was her quote. "What is up with the dude wall?"
Vosshall says the word dude wall crystallized something that had been bothering her for years.
It just sends the message every day when you walk by it that science consists of old white men.
She's now on a committee that's redesigning this display to add more diversity.
So let's not wait any longer. Let's do it now. Yes. Do you have any questions?